I gotta greet you in my favorite way. Tamra!
Hey, Bryce!
We've got a newbie, Katie,
Yes.
who goes up against Heather Dubrow.
Oh, never a good idea.
Have you met Heather?
Yes, Heather was in front of me, and she turned around and went like this.
I wouldn't go up against Heather.
You lied.
Stop saying the word lie.
I can see straight through her.
I didn't lie.
You did.
Heather called her.
Noella 1.5.
Do you agree with that label, or is Heather off the mark there?
I actually never worked with Noella, so I didn't know what it was like working with Noella. I think, and I don't know if Noella came in and was very, like, went after Heather immediately, if that's what she's talking about. If that's what she's talking about, then yes, she's accurate. Katie came in, and you'll see as it plays out that she has information on Heather that she wants very well known. And it's not information that Heather would ever find funny, but another cast member encouraged her to put this information out there because she thought it was funny.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can't say much more than that, but do not call Heather a liar. And Katie came in basically calling her a liar. It's not a way that you start the season usually.
No.
Usually you go in, you get to meet people, you get to know them, and then it's kind of like, hey, by the way, I heard this. But it wasn't that way. She came in, she got to know everybody, and then she, told everybody except for Heather.
When you heard whatever this information was, what did you think?
Well, at first, I was like, oh, really? Okay. And she said she had proof. I never saw any proof. She said all these things, and I'm like, oh, because I got crap about this certain situation last season. So there was a part of me like, bring on the proof. Yeah, you're right, just to validate what I said. But then at the end of the day, it's not really that big of a deal. It's a thing that a lot of people on TV do all the time. So it was kind of like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. And I thought it's not gonna be good because Katie was kind of passive aggressive with Heather because it's like, I have this information about you, but hey, I'm gonna have a hot dog stand at your place at my party just for you. And it's like, did you clearly watch the show before?
Okay, so had maybe a little bit of a fan mindset.
A little bit, yes, a lot of a fan mindset, yeah, yep.
Then where does that evolution go? Did she wind up being a good addition for the group in the show, or what's your read of her?
You know what, I do. I think Katie's good. I think that, your first season is always difficult. Some people get it right off the bat. Some people are very outspoken and talkative, and then others are not. She tends to be more on the quiet side, but she does speak her mind.
Especially in those confessionals so far.
Yes, and confessionals are great.
There's no difference between a promised ring and a promised ring. It's just a deed. I guess that's what she's getting.
I'm curious to see how it plays out.
Okay.
So I'm watching her as a viewer as well.
Okay. You're a fan.
I'm a fan.
Then there's Jenn and her roller coaster season we're gonna live through.
If she stays with him, it will ruin her life.
We are engaged!
How's the FBI going for you?
Stop.
FBI?
What?
$16 million into his account. He didn't know where it came from.
What was your reaction to start where we are in the season now to learning about the eviction and the fact that Gina had helped her get that home and Gina's involvement in it?
I didn't know that Gina helped her get into the house, but she was renting in the same gated community that I live in. And so I found out actually from my neighbor. My neighbor's like, did you know Jenn just got evicted? And I'm like, no, I didn't. Oh my God. And I thought that's I'm not gonna reach out to say, hey, how's your eviction? I'm letting that one go. And then she started posting that she was moving out of the house. Now the thing is like, she had only been in that house for 4 months. So she moved from one house in our community to another rental, but she was only there 4 months. So I was like, it's very confusing to me to rent a house that you clearly can afford, or you don't have some kind of, because my understanding, her ex-husband was not on the lease.
Right.
And so they were gonna split it or something like that, but yeah, that's rough.
How does her and Gina's blow up then affect the group?
It continues to get nasty.
You really need to wake up. Wake up, Jenn. You're not paying your rent. You're getting your hair and makeup done. Why aren't you paying your rent? You're getting your threads done. Why aren't you paying your rent? You're at the gym every day.
Are you kidding me? Gina, just because my life is falling apart doesn't mean my hair has to fall apart like yours did.
that sit down. Like, I understand both sides, but I understand where Gina's coming from, because one thing I look at Gina as is she was me, 15 years ago.
Okay.
So Gina and myself, we got divorced, we have kids, and we did what it took to take care of ourselves and our kids. I didn't get child support, I didn't get alimony. Gina didn't for the longest time. I was selling my clothes on eBay. I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. I wasn't trying to keep up with the Joneses, even though I was on a reality show. I was doing all the things to better myself, to take care of my kids. And with Jenn, like Gina was saying, it's been 4 years. You haven't done anything. Do something. Support yourself.
Then we know we're going to be barreling toward the FBI of it all.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But do you think Jenn is taking ownership in her parts in all of this?
I think Jenn has a history of burying her head. And I think that I don't know sometimes if it's an act, and that's what Gina was saying, like, I can't do you, like this, you're so confusing. I mean, it's not good, that's for sure. It worries me for her. If I was her, I would definitely get a career going. And because what's your backup plan?
You were a vocal critic of Ryan last year.
Yeah?
What's your feeling about him now?
No different. Worse.
Okay. In your own personal story, we finally get a window into your home life a little bit more.
Yes, yay!
Because Sophia was able to film after turning 18.
You haven't seen Sophia in over 10 years because her dad would not sign the agreement to allow her to film.
Have you talked to your dad at all? I'm not talking about dad.
Okay. She has been living with me this entire time. She is now 18 and getting ready to go to college.
What did that mean to you?
Oh, I was so scared. I was so nervous because she is my baby and she is has such a kind heart. I was, I left it up to her. Do you want to film? And she's like, yeah, I'll film. She goes, but I know I won't be a big part of it. And I'm like, well, you never know. But I was more afraid of, the people out there going after her, making fun of her, saying things can hurt her feelings.
From the first episode, people were like, I want to hang out with this girl.
I know. She is such a cool chick, and she is so grounded. And she's like, Mom, listen, social media is nothing to me. I don't even care. She goes, I would like to go. I'd like to promote my music because she sings. She creates all of her own music. And she goes, I would like to promote that. And I go, okay, that's good. I would love for people to see that side of her. She was very nervous the first few times she filmed. And even like after the first episode, she's like, oh, Mom, I look nervous. I act nervous. I'm like shaking. And I go, I know, but by the end of the season, you are a pro and you do a great job. So everybody seemed to love her. So I just hope it stays that way because I don't want anybody to go after her. That was my biggest concern.
Yeah, this though, of course, reopens the conversation about your other daughter, who has said she does not want to be talked about. But there were people who questioning you bringing her up in that first episode.
Maybe one day Sydney will come home. I know you don't want to talk about her. Not really.
So why did you broach that subject on camera again?
Oh, I don't even really want to talk about it, to be honest with you.
Do you regret doing it?
Yeah. I just, sometimes you get emotional in a scene and, it's, I wanted to get the tattoo, but it is connected to her and I just, it opens up a can of worms and it was my bad, but it is my reality.
Yeah. Well, in a way, it's your way of signaling if she were to pay attention.
Yeah.
So, all right, we've got a lot of season to watch. So much season that Heather has said, we might not even see everything because so much happened. What would be something you would be bummed if it didn't make it to air?
Oh my gosh. I think Heather and I in London, we had so much fun and we were goofy. We shared a big suite together and oh my God, we were just, I don't want to give it away. It's so good. Just so much fun that we had together.
Fancy Pants and the Truth Cannon are back together again.
Yes, and it feels good. Now, Heather and I, it's funny because Shannon's saying the reason why I was hard on you last year or didn't like whatever, it was because of Tamra. It's actually the opposite. When I came back in this group, Shannon took me aside and told me all kinds of things that Heather had supposedly said about me. And so that I was like, wait, what? Really? Oh my God, like I had no idea. And so that's why I was stepped back and hesitant about everything with Heather. So it was actually the opposite. She was projecting.
Okay, so excited to see London. Is there anything you're dreading having to go through again when it airs?
Probably there's a dinner party at Katie's house, and I was super nervous, super nervous about being around this person. And Katie's like, do you want a martini? And I've never had a martini, I don't think, ever in my life.
It's just straight liquor.
I didn't know that. I had 3.
Oh, okay.
I had 3.
So some season 17 Tamra came out.
Yeah,
maybe.
season 17, Tamra came out, and I don't totally regret what I said, because nothing I said was a lie, but it's probably something that I could have just, not just ignored.
Okay.
And I didn't.
Every freaking day that I wake up, I think about what happened.
Is that after you have a drink?
I'm looking forward to the Who Wore It Best moment of you're in the dress that Gina wears in her confessionals. I think it maybe the finale
I
party.
actually bought that dress for my confessional, and that night I was going to Gina's dinner party, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna wear this dress. I don't know what to wear. It's really cute. I put it on, and I walk in, Gina goes, that's my confessional dress.
It's happened to you twice this season, because then your promo look is Katie Maloney's Vanderpump Rules reunion look.
I know. We got to stop shopping on Revolve is what the problem is. Now, I'm really excited about Big Bear, because that's our second home. We are there 50% of the time. And so there was an episode with us in Big Bear, and that's a really fun episode.
Well, I'm excited to see it all, as usual. And everything you have to say about everything everyone else is doing.
It's a good season. It really is. I think it's a great cast. I think that both Emily and Gina have really stepped up, especially this season. So it's a good season.